Welcome to Reject My Review, the number one reply show for the world famous Pardon My Take podcast. On today's episode of Reject My Review, we are talking Mr. Pear. We're talking the perfect picks punishment for the boys with NFL season starting and a number of things. Let's get into it. Mr. Pear is a female. You heard that right. Mr. Pear is a Mrs. PFT alluded to it on Wednesday's episode. It sounds like Forrest Galante, the guy they had on, the Naked and Afraid guy they had on Wednesday's show, might have uncovered some difficult truth about Mr. Pear. Maybe that will change Mr. Pear's picks and he'll get better. It sounds like they're going to save this for once he does terrible at picking, they're going to change him into a female or whatever. I don't know. Now, with Forrest Galante uncovering the truth about Mr. Pear, they also interviewed him about a number of things, one of them being this Asian carp story where he told some story about all these Asian carp in some river in Illinois, which would be a perfect punishment for the picks. Whoever loses the picks thing this year that they do should have to go into that river for an hour or whatever, have Forrest take him down the river and just get punished by fish. That would make a great video and a great punishment. They've got to do that. And even Forrest said on the podcast that he would be willing to take someone down there and let him get crushed by fish. I think that would be a great idea. Also, I want to point out that type of interview is one of my favorites on the podcast. The one where it's not a sports guy, it's not an athlete specifically. Athlete interviews are some of the worst interviews. At least with the Pardon My Take boys, they get creative and funny and don't do the same old. So, how are you going to play this season? What's the goal to win? What's your goal? And the guy just says, yeah, I'm going to try hard and go out there and do my best. And it's just the same crap over and over and over. At least the boys make it creative, but I really enjoy the guys like Forrest Galante, somebody who doesn't fit in the sports world, and he actually has something to talk about and something he's interested in other than sports. Let me know what your take is on that, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you guys are AWLs in agreement with what I'm saying there? Or do you guys prefer an athlete? Excluding like the Ryan Rosillos, the Jerry O'Connells, those are usually great episodes, but specifically for the people getting interviewed. Also, they didn't use the drop. Now time for something completely different. That would have finally been an appropriate time to use that drop. It annoys me beyond belief when they use that drop from going to sport interview to sport interview. So they'll interview someone like Pete Prisco, I don't know how to say his last name. They'll interview some sports analyst, and then they'll go into an interview with like Aaron Rodgers, and they'll use the drop. Now time for something completely different. That's not something completely different. This time they went from Pete Prisco, again, I don't know his name, Pete whatever, to Forrest, and they didn't use the drop. Why even have the drop? You just misuse it on purpose? Is this a joke that I've just missed, where you just have always been misusing the drop? It shatters my mind. Last couple of things I wanted to talk about on the podcast. Jerry O'Connell has officially cheated on the Pardon My Take boys. He went on some other fantasy football show, Good Morning Football or something, and discussed fantasy football. I thought he was just a Pardon My Take expert. He's not only cheating on the Pardon My Take boys, he's cheating on the AWLs. I didn't know he was going to be on there. He didn't tell us when he went on the podcast, hey, I'm going to also be on this show. You guys should come watch. No, I had to find out through some other avenue, some random clip on Twitter, just see, oh, here's Jerry O'Connell spouting off this new, I think he talked about Derrick Henry. I don't remember him talking about Derrick Henry on Pardon My Take. Now, he did seem to mention literally every single player in the draft. I don't know how he's going to draft all of those guys, but nonetheless, he needs to share that information with us. And I thought I was going to have an edge on my draft. Now he's sharing this with the rest of the world. Okay, Jerry, come on, man. The final thing I wanted to talk about was Max. Max, again, he's getting a lot of love. I love him. However, I think we might start to see a shift in the love for Max, starting with the fact that he doesn't watch Monday Night Football. Max, why do you not watch Monday Night Football? Your job is basically to watch football. It's to produce a show that just watches football, but that's pretty integral to the function of your job, is being up to date on football. Feel like you can stand watching one more game on Monday night. Also, why wouldn't you want to watch that? Come on, Max. That will do it for episode 2 of Reject My Reply. If you have something that you didn't like on the pod, something that you loved on the pod, one-liner that everybody missed that PFT got off, come on the show and get your reply off for the Pardon My Take boys.